Hello there and welcome to my channel. This is NonGone and today we're playing Death Stranding. This is the original non-director's cut PS4 version. We are playing on the PS5 to reduce loading screens because we're working on a speed platinum run. That's getting all the trophies as quickly as possible. I've already done the run. My time was 45 hours and 43 minutes, which was good enough to get to the top of the leaderboard on PSN profiles. But I thought it was a terrible run, and I think you could shave at least 20 hours off of this time. So with that goal in mind, I'm putting out this detailed walkthrough to kind of help you find ways to improve on this and hopefully do a lot better than me. At the end of video 4, we got to the credits, we finished the game, and now the world is open and we're going to try to get some of these big trophies out of the way. And this is the real meat and where also I did the least efficient pathing. So we're going to start in the eastern region. We're going to work on these 4 trophies right here. That's Best Beloved, Fount of Knowledge, Great Deliverer, and Growth of a Legend. So Best Beloved is to get all 39 locations to maximum connection level. You already have 3 of them. That was the last 3 in the storyline. We're going to work on the 7 that are here in the eastern region for this. We're also going to be picking up the last 2 memory chips, which will bring our total to 34. We're going to be working on the 5-star, the Great Deliverer, but we'll talk about that in a different video. It's not super important right now, but Growth of a Legend is. So the first thing you want to do when you get out of the credits is save your game and switch to hard difficulty. You need to complete, so every standard order has a category, and there are 4 different categories: condition, volume, time, and miscellaneous. We'll call miscellaneous fetch quests from here on out. To get this Growth of a Legend on hard difficulty, you have to do 20 of each of those categories, so 80 deliveries total. They have to be S rank on hard difficulty or higher, which will get you your Legend of Legends. We've already done 2 of these. If you followed my walkthrough, one was at the Collector and the other was at the First Prepper, where we switched to hard difficulty just to get these. So if you look at this star, you should see Legends of Legends times 2. Those are the 2 that you did. So let's go ahead and jump into it. When you finish the story, you're going to start at Capital Knot City. And basically what my plan was to do is break these into little regions, build zip lines out while I'm empty so I don't accidentally damage cargo, and then start running the zip lines back and forth between however many facilities are in that region. As I build bandwidth, then I'll creep out and build more zip lines to other places and then add those into the mix. That worked really well in the first half of this. I got it done, the first 4 locations done in about an hour. The last 3 took me 2 more hours, and I think you could probably be more efficient. But let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we're going to do is build a zip line down to the distro center from Capital Knot. That's what I've been doing this whole time in the background. The first one goes right outside Capital Knot. The second one is 300 paces down towards this mountain spine. The third one is up on that spine. Make sure you connect to number 2 and also can see down to the river for number 4. The fourth one is as far south as you can get it and still connect to your earlier one. And then the 5th one's right at the way station. Once you do that, jump back to the 4th one and start headed south. There's a little ridge up here, and you should see a lost cargo for the Ludens fan. Grab that and run up there and put him on the network. And that will allow you to place a zip line here if there isn't one already. Connect that back to your north running and then connect it to your south running and run it out to the distribution center. So you've now got 4 locations on there. The first thing you want to do is pick up delivery number 129. That's a fetch quest. And you don't have to go clear out the mules in this area. They're real easy. There's only 3 up there. But it's a repeat of the story mission. So just run up there, grab the lost cargo, and run back and get your S rank. At that point, you want to pick up delivery number 125, 126, and 127, and I believe one of those is a time delivery back to Capital Knot. So go ahead and run that, and you'll have, I think, a way station delivery on your back. Just skip him. This is timed. You want to get an S rank. Once you get to Capital Knot, you want to pick up number 100, which is also a timed delivery to the way station, and you want to pick up 102, 103, and 109. And you kind of see how this is going. So you run back to the timed. Now we're going to make our first use of private lockers right here. So take all of your cargo that's going other places and dump it in a private locker. We're going to do delivery number 114, which is a fetch quest for the way station. So this will be your second one already. So we'll already be up to 4 out of 20. Just run down to the river, walk through there, grab the 1 or 2 that are floating, and then grab the rest and run back. Take your S rank. Pick up all your stuff back out of the private locker and pick up delivery 115, 118, and 124 and deliver everything you got to the Ludens fan and then the distribution center. Now, I'm not going to continue with all these specific deliveries. You kind of, just by doing that, you get an idea for what we're trying to do. So I'm just going to let you carry on. Make a trip back up north with the deliveries that you can and drop everything off, and then make one more trip back south so that you're sitting at the distro center. If you have extra room on your back, you might want to grab like a wind farm delivery or part of it and put that in the private locker at the distro center. Also, if you find lost cargo for the wind farm especially, get off your zip line and grab it. You're going to be about 500 likes short when you get done with all the other locations. You'll be about 500 likes short for the wind farm. So anything you can do to grab that will save you time on the back end. Now, that's the first half of this. Eventually, you will get all 4 of those locations on there. You don't have to like strangle yourself to get every single one of them. We can build the network south and start picking up some like a capital knot delivery from the musician or whatever. Just you want to get most of the way so that you have some bandwidth and you can move south. Now, this is one more thing that gets real tricky with this, and that is the chiral bandwidth in this area is not big enough to get all 27 zip lines that you need to get to the 7 locations. Now, you'll get some help from online people, so try to make use of those. They don't count for your bandwidth, those zipline anchors. You'll get a lot of help by the fact that if you followed my walkthrough, you didn't put any structures down except that one generator right by the distro center. And if you need the 350 bandwidth, you can dismantle that from the main menu. But we're also going to do a couple other little tricks. The first one is going to involve the musician, and we're not going to build an entire zipline network out there because we need that bandwidth for other locations. So once you get pretty comfortable and you're sitting at the distro center, let's get the musician going. So drive south to the base of this hill right here with the river and park your vehicle, and then run up all the way up to the musician without any cargo on your back or anything. Keep 1 PCC or 2 and go ahead and meet him. Now, he's got a fetch quest for you, and it's to go down this river and grab these 2 pieces of cargo. So I know it's tough. It's time consuming. You got to do it on foot. Take care of it. Easy as pie. Come on back up and give him his stuff. Make sure you don't damage it. So get your S rank. And now that he's on the network, you want to place a zip line right here. I know it doesn't connect to anything, but it will in a second. So go ahead and run back towards your vehicle and run out until you get 300 meters out here somewhere in this plane, and go ahead and put another zip line down. Leave your vehicle there and then zip line back to the original one you placed and pick up the time deliveries from the musician. I think there's 2. Now from there you can zip line down, get on your bike, and you should be able to make both deliveries so with your vehicle. One's the distro center, so you should be able to do that without too much trouble. So go ahead and knock that out. That's how we're going to deal with the musician for the remainder. If you find a more efficient way, though, go for it. So once you have the musician on board and your first 4 locations are doing okay, I suggest take a look at your bandwidth. You're going to need 5 zipline posts, which is 2,500 bandwidth. If you have that, then go ahead and run one out to the wind farm. And the way you do that is you start here at the distro center and go just directly at it. You'll put 1 across the way here, 1 a little further up, a 3rd one right at the crest here. And then I was skirting around the BTs, but I learned that you can zipline through these trees as long as you don't hit a trunk. So on my actual run, I just went ahead and ran right down the middle, got caught by the BTs, escaped the catchers, so I had some room to work, and then placed 1 down here at the hill that connected straight through, and then 1 right there at the wind farm. So 5 more locations. You got 6 of the 7 on your network, and you're ready to go. And again, at this point, I'm not going to give you specific deliveries. You know what to pick up and what you need and what facilities still need stuff. So we're going to forward ahead to when you get 5 stars for the way station, which should happen right about now. When you get 5 stars for the way station, you can now get the other 2 memory chips that are on this map, and I suggest you do it as soon as you can because you might need to disable or dismantle some of these zip lines by Capital Knot. And once you get these, you really don't need to come back. So as soon as Way Station hits 5 stars, get on your zip line and run back either to Cap Knot or to the one right before it. And run up to the incinerator. You've been up there twice. It's on the back left on the roof. So just run up the angle here and you can grab it. Again, I take the left way up so I can escape the BTs better. Come back down, go right into Capital Knot City, grab a ladder and drive right around to the quarantine area. When you get to the quarantine area, turn left. There's a 2-story building. You want to put a ladder down here, climb up, and on the roof of that building will be your final memory chip for this area. That's number 34 overall. So good job. That's cleared out. What I like to do is grab the deliveries for at least the wind farm and possibly Port Knot City out of Capital Knot and zipline down to the distro and drop them off in a private locker. That way I don't have to come back up here to pick up the delivery. If you're having trouble managing that, I don't know. It wasn't very efficient for me. It took 2 hours to do the last 3 locations. So you may want to route it differently, whatever works. So now that that's done, we should have enough, just barely. I would run the 6 locations, and anytime I get a Port Knot lost cargo or delivery, just make sure you stop at the distro center and put it in a private locker. Once you get the musician up to 6 stars, you can dismantle those 2 zip lines that you made. You're not going back to him. And that should get you enough bandwidth to finally get down to Port Knot City. And there's a couple ways you can do it. It depends on where the online folks are giving you help. The most common way is to go right up this way and under the arch, or in my case, I like to put it right over the arch on that rock up here. But you can also go use your line from the wind farm, and there's like a little ridge uphill to the right there where you can kind of skirt all of that. You probably will have to get the BTs out of there to be able to get up on these rocks and find it. But if you put like 3, maybe the 3rd one will be up on top of the arch, and then you'll want a 4th one that's overlooking the cliff. And if you have the bandwidth, you can get down there in 2 more. If not, just drive a vehicle up to that zip line and use that as your de facto zip line. So that's pretty much it. Once you have ways to get to all these places, you're really just picking up deliveries, throwing them on your back, taking them to the locations, and you're going to continue to do that. And once you get 5 stars with a place, you don't have to deliver anything to them. You can still pick up deliveries. I suggest you use the standard order list that is available through Reddit, or I'll put a link in the description here. It's got every standard order, and it is sortable. So if you need stuff going to Port Knot City, you can just sort by column D, and it'll tell you all the deliveries. So don't be afraid to fast travel if you want to get to a specific place. And be aware that the wind farm will probably take you longer than the rest. You know, just keep that in mind when you're picking up and going out of your way to get lost cargo and stuff. So that's all I really have for this one. Like I said, it took 3 hours. At some point, you will finally make your final delivery, and Jake will be 5 stars, at which point you can go to any safe house on the map. In my case, there was one right next to the wind farm. And go ahead and fast travel over to Lake Knot City, and we'll start the big area, the central area, next. So that's pretty much it for this video. Again, I hope that this helps, and I hope you can do better than my run. We're really going to get some economies of scale here in the next one. This is now the end of all of the practice runs that I did before I started, so everything else I was winging it. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. In the meantime, stay bad, people. Non-gone is gone.